Hello, I'm Jay, and welcome to the very first ever, and I mean ever, video posted on my brand new channel, Jay on Wrestling. Now introductions are out of the way, let's get on with things. This is the top 10 booking opportunities wasted by WWE for 2015 into 2016. Number 10, Ryback being the big guy. Let's start by saying I am not Ryback's biggest fan, no pun intended. I think he's stiff, he lacks in-ring charisma, and definitely has a teeny tiny number of moves in his protein-filled locker. Ryback is seen by many as this generation's version of Goldberg, and by all logic, he really could have been. Like Goldberg, he doesn't have a lot going for him other than the obvious fact that he looks like he could kill a motherfucker. Not one, not two, but pretty much every motherfucker in the WWE roster. If WWE would have booked him in a destroyer character kind of sense, he could have had a much more successful career in WWE. Instead, he lost to Kalisto multiple times, was put into a stable with not one, but two old and very boring characters in Kane and Big Show. And even after a gear change, which usually instigates a change in attitude, he still remains the I'm big, you're small, I should win, blah blah, boring character. Poor big guy. Number 9, Bray Wyatt. It pains me deeply to have Bray Wyatt on this list. He is a fantastic wrestler, he is a fantastic talker, and he has one of the most original gimmicks that we have on the WWE roster today. But after some terrible booking with some terrible opponents, Bray Wyatt finds himself on the losing end of nearly every pay-per-view. If we just think back to just one big example when it comes to bad opponents for the Wyatt family, just think about that absolutely god-awful Kane, Ryback and Big Show stable they had for the smallest amount of time. But they thought that it would be a good idea to have them beat the Wyatt family at a pay-per-view. It boggles my mind today. The Wyatt family have Bray, the best talker on the mic in the business right now, and Luke Harper, one of the best technical wrestlers that we have on the roster today. That stable could have been monstrous, and we could have been talking about that on a completely different list come the end of the year. Number 8, Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. This one has been spoken about, eaten, shat out, and spoken about all over again 100 times. Roman Reigns should have never won that Royal Rumble after Daniel Bryan had returned weeks prior. Daniel Bryan is a fan favourite, something that Vince, no matter what he does, cannot change. The ratings were down, they needed a big thing to happen on Raw, and that big thing was definitely Daniel Bryan returning to a colossal pop when he came back. The only problem with that is it completely and utterly undermined Vince's need to have Roman Reigns over and to have Roman Reigns be the WWE champion. This was made even worse when they eliminated Daniel Bryan from the Royal Rumble only about halfway through. This just made every single person in the arena and at home think what a complete and utter total waste of time, and then just instead of watching, boo, boo, boo. Number 7, John Cena beats Kevin Owens 2 out of 3 matches. This one I have to admit is slightly biased. Kevin Owens is the very best heel on the WWE roster right now in my humble personal opinion. And without a shadow of a doubt, one of the top in-ring workers we have ever seen. Kevin Owens epitomizes everything that Vinnie Mac doesn't want to see in a wrestler, and we all know it. But by sheer skill, technique, and microphone excellence, he has managed to stay right up there in the main roster and keep excelling. But what he could have been by now, if he would have beat Cena 2 out of 3, would have been a whole nother level. Whether we like it or not, John Cena is the man. I'm sorry, Seth, but he is. John Cena sells more shirts, more arenas, and more merchandise than any other WWE wrestler ever. But he is not no spring chicken. Cena won't be around forever. He is basically bionic in his ability to shake off injury after injury, but eventually his body is going to go, fuck this, and give up. If WWE would have booked Kevin Owens to win this feud, he would have came out looking like an absolute beast, and it would have been seen, as a lot of the people who watch NXT already know, as the very next big thing in the WWE. I think, in all honesty, this is completely down to Vince. I think Cena is a good bloke, and he probably would have allowed this. But Vince only sees Cena lose bad, Cena win good. Number 6, Cesaro and just Cesaro. Wow, where do I begin with this one? You have a guy who looks great, unbelievable athlete, great in-ring worker, loved by fans worldwide. All this added together to Vince means, let's book him really, really badly and not let him win a thing. I'm going to start this by saying Cesaro should not have been challenging for the tag team title picture with Tyson Kidd. Sorry, Tyson Kidd, but Cesaro is too good to be sharing the limelight with anyone. Someone like Cesaro had me and many people around the world crying out for them to bring back the European title. If WWE were to bring it back and have a tournament or something along those lines with Cesaro as the eventual triumphant winner, it would have been amazing. Mr. European Uppercut would bring prestige to the old title and would also catapult him to the upper card where he rightfully should be. Number 5. Why are the Usos so damn strong? The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, 2-time Slammy Award winners, Vince's Samoan superpower in the tag team division. Seriously, does anyone like or even care the tiniest bit about them? They have been greeted with utter silence, or once they were partnered with Roman, complete and total contempt from the crowd. God only knows how they won the Slammy for best tag team and the New Day didn't. Maybe we will never know. Number 4. Ava Marie. Ava Marie is not a good wrestler. Ava Marie is not a good talker. But somehow she seemed to completely skip developmental and wind up on the main roster. After a completely awful run on the main roster, she was then demoted, which I think is a bad word, to NXT. She then did awful in NXT. And then somehow you turn on your TV, you find yourself watching WrestleMania, and there she is. How this happened, I have no idea. This is how I think it happened. She can't talk. She can't wrestle. But Jesus Christ, is she gorgeous. So no one will care. That is the conversation I think Vince had with his creative team when deciding to have Ava Marie on the WWE roster. The only thing I can say for her, though, is you don't always have to be the best wrestler to make it in WWE. Just check Lana out right now. She is probably one of the hottest properties in WWE today, and the same could be said for Ava Marie if she learns how to talk on the microphone. Number 3, the Divas Revolution. Well, there is not enough words in the English dictionary to completely and utterly describe how epically WWE failed this whole Divas Revolution angle. Calling up 3 of the 4 horsewomen in Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Sasha Banks, we all thought something truly amazing was about to happen in the women's division. But no, we were put into awful storylines with absolutely terribly named stables, and it just all fell apart from there. What should have happened is all 4 horsewomen should have been brought up and they should have been put as the focal point for the new era of the women's division. Number 2, AJ Styles post WrestleMania. I don't know what kind of contract AJ Styles was offered when he first joined the WWE, but I've got to think it had a lot of money in it to make him want to put up with the amount of shit he has put up with since debuting. Talking about his debut, he had an absolutely amazing pop. Everyone wanted to see AJ Styles. The only thing is, the people at home watching on TV didn't get to see him for a little while, as we were all forced to watch Roman Reigns' confused, weird face just stare at the Titantron. What a complete waste of footage. AJ Styles has gone from that immense pop to going on a absolutely awful losing streak to Chris Jericho and to Roman Reigns himself. He should have not have been put into the main title picture with Roman Reigns so early, because every single person knew that there was not a chance that AJ Styles was walking away from any of those pay-per-views as the new WWE champion. This because he epitomizes everything Vince McMahon hates, not only being a small guy, but being Mr. TNA. Just imagine if they went a different way with AJ Styles at the start. Imagine an AJ versus Cesaro feud or an AJ versus Kevin Owens feud. The matches could have got all of these small pay-per-views on the map because of the amazing matches that these guys could have put on. He deserves better, and we, yes, me and you, want better for AJ Styles. Number 1. Roman Reigns being face post-WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, the hero, the greatest man that has ever lived. The very best wrestler on God's green... I can't do this anymore. Roman Reigns should be heel. It's simple. That is it. Roman Reigns should be heel. He was shoved down our throats by Vince. We spat him out, so he did it again and again and again. This forced most of us to do what is natural. Hate his fucking guts. Roman isn't a bad wrestler. He's actually quite a good one. He isn't the worst on the microphone, but he definitely is not the best. But he looks like a champion, and that's what really, really grinds our gears. In the age of the internet, we have come to appreciate that good wrestlers don't always come wrapped up in a 6.5 feet tall, muscle-bound package. We want the little guy to win, the internet darling. But Vince loves his aesthetically pleasing faces, and Roman Reigns fits the bill. Being lined up as the next John Cena, Roman Reigns is now running the show, but he should be running it heel. No one likes him. No one wants him as champion. Everyone wants and enjoys booing him, no matter how many times JBL tells you that you only boo because you secretly want his babies. To quote a cliche, Roman Reigns' heel is best for business. He could have ran the same feuds after WrestleMania, which would have worked better logically with him as heel. And also, it would have set up the returning Seth Rollins to come back as the heroic face he always should have returned as. It's still not too late for the double turn for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, but if it's going to go how we all think it's going, we are going to end up with a decade-long boring face run by Vince's champion. And that's my list. Did you agree? Did you hate it? Do you want to strangle me with a ring rope? Let me know in the comments below. And also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I've been Jay, you've been you, and this has been Jay on Wrestling. Thank you and see you next time.